Guys, Jennifer here with the Family Fudge, and welcome to Bunches of Lunches Christmas edition. This week I'm going to share with you some super festive but also super easy Christmas themed school lunch ideas. These lunches will include lots of time-saving shortcuts, which is great for those busy mornings, and after each lunch the kids are going to let you know whether they liked it or not. So hit that red subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up if you love Christmas lunches, and now let's get started. Good morning guys and happy Monday. For today's lunch I'm going with a breakfast for lunch theme. I'm going to start by cracking 5 eggs into my measuring cup. To these I'm going to add some milk, a little bit of salt and pepper, and then I'm going to whisk them up. Now my idea is to turn these into some Christmas themed egg bites. Egg bites are usually a big hit around here, so I'm hoping that my kids will like this Christmas version, and instead of using my regular silicone egg pan, I thought it would be really festive to use this Christmas tree shaped pan instead. I found this one at Aldi. I just added a few pieces of mild green onion and a pinch or two of shredded cheddar cheese. Now I'm going to pour the egg mixture on top, and these are only going to take about 10 to 12 minutes in the oven at 350. So while those are in the oven, I'm going to prepare some waffles to go along with them, but not just any waffles. For these, I'm going to start with our favorite waffle mix, although these also make really good pancakes too. This is the Kodiak Cakes brand, and I like this one because there's lots of whole grains in there, but there's also lots of protein. So I know these are going to help keep the kids nice and full while they're at school. And this mix is definitely a big shortcut because all you really have to do is add equal parts dry mix and water. And just with these two things, you would have some really awesome waffles. But to turn these into Christmas waffles, I'm going to add just a few extra things. I'm adding in 1 tablespoon of melted coconut oil, and I'm going to mix it all together. And then here comes the fun part. Now, if you're sensitive to food coloring, you definitely don't have to do this step. I'm going to go ahead and add 3 or 4 drops of green food coloring because when I'm done with these waffles, I want them to look like Christmas trees. Now, I do want this to be a little bit more vibrant, so I'm going to add just a few more drops of food coloring. I'll mix that all together, and now it looks like it's ready to go. So to make these waffles, I'm going to start by adding a little bit of nonstick spray to my waffle iron, and this is just a regular round waffle iron, nothing fancy at all. And I'm going to add about 3 scoops of the waffle batter in here. I definitely want to overfill this, but I also want to make sure that I end up with a nice full waffle as well. This waffle iron is super quick. It only took about 2 minutes and they're ready to go. And I am going to go ahead and make 4 of these waffles because I know all of my kids are going to want some, especially my preschoolers, so I want to make sure to have enough for him as well. So now that my waffles are done and my egg bites are done, I want to go ahead and get these egg bites in the thermoses while they're still nice and hot. And I'm adding 2 egg bites for my older kids, and I'm giving my older kids 2 of these egg bites, and for my younger kids I'm just adding 1. Now to go along with these egg bites, I'm also going to give the kids a little container of ketchup. My kids love ketchup with egg bites. I'm just going to squirt a little bit into these little separate containers. I get these at the Dollar Tree, and they work perfectly for things like sauces and dips, and they're super inexpensive. You get 10 for $1. So now back to the waffles. These are definitely meant to be eaten at room temperature, which my kids are totally fine with. And since I put all those M&Ms on the outside, I'm not going to be including any syrup with these waffles at all. Next up, I'm putting together some veggie Christmas trees. Now, I've been making different variations of these for a long time, and there's actually quite a lot of different ways you can make these. But what I like to do is take a carrot, I'll cut out a star shape using my mini cookie cutter. That will go on the top of my tree. Then I also cut just a little piece of carrot like this, and this guy's going to basically be the base of the tree. Next, what I like to use is a long strip of cucumber. Now you could cut this with a knife, of course, but I really like to use my mandolin slicer. It gets these nice and thin, and it makes cutting these a lot faster too. So now I take my strip of cucumber and I bend it back and forth, and it's going to taper down just like this. Then I stick a toothpick down the center. I'll then stick one end of the toothpick into our little carrot tree stump. Then I'll take the other end of the toothpick and stick it into the star. Now you guys, I just love how these turned out, and it's definitely one of my favorite healthier alternatives when it comes to making cute Christmas themed food. Now to go along with this, I'm also going to be adding in some goldfish crackers, but these are actually the holiday edition ones, so there's just red and green ones in here. Then of course we have those egg bites in the thermos, but I wanted to go ahead and add some Christmas flair to the little ketchup container. And a really fun and quick way to decorate this is by using Christmas stickers. Now you guys, these are actually Christmas gift tag stickers. I'm just going to take this snowflake one and add it directly on top. And to finish these lunch boxes, I'm also going to add in some Baby Bell cheese. I used my mini star-shaped cookie cutter on these just to make them a little bit more Christmassy. And then I'm not going to be adding a separate sweet treat since I have all of those M&Ms in there already. And for the kids' drink today, they're just going to be taking their water bottles.
We're back home now, and here's what we ate.
So it looks like everybody ate all of their egg bites. What'd you think of those, guys?
Those were really good.
Yeah. Did you like them with the ketchup?
Mm-hmm.
So then whose box should we check first?
Mine.
Jackson's? All right. What do you think, Jack? What was your favorite part? Not the cheese. I was hoping you would eat this.
Well, I don't like Baby Bell.
You still don't like them, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
My favorite part was the eggs.
The egg bites. What about you, Lily? What was your favorite part?
The goldfish.
The goldfish? It looks like you ate your waffle, though.
Mm-hmm.
And Kenzie? You have a little bit of waffle left. What do you think?
It was good. My favorite part was probably the egg bites.
Egg bites. No, I did also make a lunch for Griffin. What do you think, Griffin?
My waffles and my ketchup and my egg. This was good. And my goldfish.
You liked all of it?
It was good.
Good job today, guys.
See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
Good morning, guys, and happy Tuesday. Today's lunch is going to be so quick and easy. It's going to be meat-free, it's going to be nut-free, and it's also going to include some really cute Elf on the Shelf treats. You guys will have to let me know in the comments down below if you guys do the whole Elf on the Shelf thing at your house. So for today's lunch, I started by peeling and chopping up a bunch of avocados. Now, I actually bought a bag of these avocados at Costco a few days ago, but they all need to be used up today, otherwise they're gonna go bad. So I thought it'd be really fun to make up some guacamole. My kids love guacamole, so now I've added all of these avocado chunks to a large bowl, but how we really like it is with a little bit of mayo. Then I also add a little bit of mild salsa. Emphasis on the mild. My kids really don't like it if I use spicy. I'm just gonna add about 2 spoonfuls of this. Next, I'm adding in a little bit of garlic and some salt and pepper. And then I also added the juice of 1 lime in here. Not only does that add a nice bright flavor, but that lime juice is also gonna help the guacamole not turn brown in the lunchbox. So now to finish this guacamole, I'm just gonna take my potato masher and I'm gonna mash this up just a bit. I don't want it to be completely smooth. We like our guacamole on the chunkier side. And once it is completely done, I can add it into the lunchbox. Now I decided to put that guacamole in this separate section of the lunchbox, and just for fun, I'm also going to be adding in one of these really cute Christmas picks right in here. Now to go along with this guacamole, I'm also going to be adding in some tortilla chips, but not just plain tortilla chips. I recently saw these at a grocery store called Publix, and I thought they would be perfect for today's lunch because of the red and green color. They are super festive. My kids are going to love them. Before I add in the chips, I am going to go ahead and add this star-shaped silicone liner in here. And then I'm going to fill in the rest of the space with the tortilla chips. Then to the separate silicone liner, I'm going to add a handful of shredded cheese. This is the Mexican blend cheese. So it's going to go really well with our tortilla chips and the guacamole. And what's also going to go really well with these is a little bit of sour cream. So I'm just going to add a little bit of this in this back section of the lunchbox. I'm going to add a Christmas pick in here as well. And then it's time to move on to some fruit. Now for today's lunch, I want to keep it quick and easy. So I'm going to add in a Go-Go Squeeze applesauce pouch. So what I'm going to do is actually take my napkin. This is a really cute Elf on the Shelf napkin. And I'm actually going to wrap it around my applesauce pouch, kind of like wrapping a present. but then they can also use the napkin at lunchtime as they're eating their lunch. And then last but not least, I'm also going to throw in some of these Elf on the Shelf Christmas cake bites. Now I think these look super fun. I found these at Walmart, and these are really perfect for throwing into a lunch because they already come in this really cute packaging. And speaking of really cute packaging, this one actually leaves a space for you to write a message. So I'm just going to take my Sharpie markers and I'm going to write a little message for each one of my kids. So now that's everything in one lunch. Now I'm going to put the other two together in just the same way. And for the kids' drink, again, they're just going to be taking their water bottles. Okay guys, we're back home now, and before I show you the big kids' lunches, I'll show you Griffin's. I did go ahead and make him one as well. He had pretty much the same stuff, just less of it. What'd you think, Griffin?
I liked it. Is how it came in. The chips and the cheese and a wing from avocado.
You like the avocado? Oh, good.
And the sour cream and the cookies.
You liked everything? Did you like your little cake?
Yeah.
All right, now let's start with Mackenzie's this time. What did you think, Kenzie?
I really liked it.
Oh, it looks a little bit messy. What was your favorite part?
My favorite part was probably the chips and guacamole.
Yeah, you ate all of it. And it doesn't look like it turned very brown either. I did put a lot of lime juice in there. Now let's check Jackson's. I almost called you Griffin. What'd you think?
My favorite was the chips, the cheese, the little cake thingy, and the guacamole.
So you liked everything?
Except I kind of liked the sour cream.
Okay. And last we have Lily's. All right, let's see how you did. Oh, I see some guacamole left. Did it give you too much?
Kind of.
What was your favorite part?
My favorite was everything. My favorite was everything.
Yours was too?
And Johnson.
All right, good job today, guys.
And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, bye-bye.
Okay, that's too loud. Hey guys, and welcome to Wednesday. For today's lunch, I'm gonna start by making some Santa sandwiches. Now, I recently found these really cute metal cookie cutters at Target for just $1, so I went ahead and picked up 3 of these. And I'll show you what I'm gonna do with those a little bit later. To make these sandwiches, I'm going to start with a little bit of mayo. I'm just gonna add a little bit to both slices of bread. And then just to Lily's sandwich, I'm also adding a little bit of mustard. Next, I'm adding 1 slice of honey ham, followed by 1 slice of cheddar cheese. So it's a good old ham and cheese sandwich. And now it's time for those Santa cookie cutters. Now, these little cutters fit my bread perfectly, so I'm just going to line them up and then press them through the sandwich. But at this point, I'm actually going to be leaving the cookie cutter in the sandwich, and I'm going to add it to the lunchbox just as is. This is going to be a fun surprise for the kids in their lunchboxes. The cookie cutters are not sharp, so I'm not worried about that, but sending the sandwich this way means they can eat the entire thing, not just the cutout shape. And now it's time for some rings. Now you guys, I love adding cupcake rings to my lunches. Not only are they food safe because they're meant to go on cupcakes after all, but these come in so many different styles and colors, and you can actually find them really inexpensively on Amazon. My kids think these are really fun. At lunchtime, they can wear them or they can give them away to friends. For today's lunch, I'm going to be adding in the Santa shaped one, and I thought it would be really interesting to stick it into the sandwich right here. I don't know, some might say interesting, some might say that looks a little bit creepy, but today we're going for it. Now in this back section, I'm going to add some reusable green silicone liner. I'm going to give each kid a few pieces of celery. Then for my son Jackson, I'm adding some cherry tomatoes. I love that combination of red and green, but my girls don't really like cherry tomatoes, so for them, I'm going to add a few spiral sliced carrots instead. And for their fruit, I'm going to add in these little tiny mandarin oranges. Now I went ahead and added these to the lunch boxes whole, but I am going to go ahead and take my paring knife and I'm going to cut a little slit at the top of each one. This is going to make it easier for the kids to peel once they're at school, and it also gives me a little space to add some bling. That's right, I'm just going to stick one of these little reindeer rings right on the top. Now I'm going to fill in the rest of the space around the sandwich with some of these holiday goldfish crackers. Then for the sweet treat, I'm going to be adding some really fun sugar cookies. cookies. Now you guys, I have to admit, I am not the best when it comes to decorating cookies, but you know what? Target is. Target has been making some really cute sugar cookies recently, so I just went ahead and bought these at the store, already made. They're already wrapped and ready to go. Definitely a time saver, but still really cute and special. For Miss Lily, she requested the gingerbread. For Jackson, I'm going to give him the Santa. And for Mackenzie, I'm going to give her the Christmas tree. Now to go along with this, the kids are going to take their water bottles, but I thought it would be really fun, since I'm adding cookies to the lunch, to also add some milk, because I feel like at Christmas time, milk and cookies definitely go together. So for the milk, I'm actually going to start by upcycling a few little water bottles. And I really like these ones specifically because the outside of the bottle is really curvy, which is perfect because I'm going to use a few of my Sharpie markers to turn these into snowman milk bottles. Now this is something I've been doing for years. My kids love it, and I end up reusing these bottles several times. Then I'm going to take my orange Sharpie to add a little carrot nose. Now you guys, I'm actually not super crafty at things like this, but it's so easy. You really can't go wrong, and you can even have your kids help you make these. It's a really fun project. Now I'm going to finish off this guy with a few little buttons. I'm going to draw in some arms and some fingers, and once I have all of my bottles done, I can go ahead and fill them with milk. Now to do this, I'm definitely using my funnel, because if you guys know me, I'm not the best at pouring things without spilling, so I'm really going slow here to make sure I don't spill. Now lastly, to finish off these little snowman bottles, I'm just going to take a little bit of ribbon. This is just some leftover ribbon that I already had around the house, and I'm just going to tie it around the neck of the bottle. And check it out, you guys, don't these snowman bottles look so cute? Okay guys, what did you think of your snowman milk? Was it cool? Mm-hmm. Looks like you drank it all. Good job. Alright, you have to remind me, the red one is Mackenzie's? Mm-hmm. I always forget with these lunch boxes whose is whose. Alright, Kenzie, what'd you think?
It was good.
What was your favorite part?
My favorite part was probably the goldfish.
The goldfish. And the blue one is Lily's. What'd you think, Lily?
It was good. My favorite part was probably the sandwich.
And lastly, we have Jackson. What'd you think?
It's good.
Good. Did you like your tomatoes?
I like tomatoes.
Griffin likes tomatoes, and Jackson likes tomatoes, but nobody else does.
Daddy does too.
Yeah, so all the boys like tomatoes, and the girls do not.
Because the inside, the boys like bite and then they show the inside and it looks weird.
The inside of a tomato looks weird.
Sure? Can you get like I like it. Burger. Then you Jackson likes it.
A bunch of.
And Daddy likes it.
Okay. There's a bunch of food critics in this house now.
We'll see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
You guys almost sound like a choir. Happy Thursday, guys! For today's lunch, I'm going with a snowman theme. Now you guys will have to let me know in the comments down below if you've ever built a real snowman. Believe it or not, my kids really haven't had the experience. It never really snowed where we lived in California, and it's certainly not snowing here in Florida. So for today's lunch, I'm going to start by using some bagel thins. Now these look and taste just like bagels, they're just a lot thinner. They're great for making sandwiches, and perfect for putting into lunch boxes. So to my bagels, I'm going to start by adding some plain cream cheese. Now I actually left this cream cheese out overnight so it's nice and soft and it will be easier to spread. I'm going to add a good layer of cream cheese right onto here. Next, I'm going to be adding 2 blueberries to each one of these. Now I picked out the biggest blueberries I could find for this part, and then I picked out the smallest blueberries I could for this next part. I'm just going to add 4 or 5 of these to the bottom of each little bagel. Now I know a lot of you guys can probably already guess what I'm trying to make here. Now of course you can't have a snowman without a carrot nose, right? So I'm actually going to take these real whole carrots and I'm going to cut the tips off. I'm going to give them a good wash and I'm going to peel them as well. And then I'm just going to stick the little carrot tips right in the center of the bagel. Now these snowmen already look super cute, but I feel like most snowmen have hats, right? So to make the snowman's hat, I'm just going to take a couple of apples and I'm going to cut out some basic square and rectangle shapes to create some little hats. So now that our snowman is in the lunchbox, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the snack. And for today's lunch, I have some really awesome Christmas pretzels. Now, I found these at Walmart, and these are not sweet pretzels at all. They really just taste like regular ones. But in here, there's a bell shape, a Christmas tree shape, a candy cane shape, and a snowflake. So it's super cute, and they just fit perfectly right in here. Next up for the sweet treat, I'm gonna add in just a few of these ginger snowball cookies. Now, I actually found these ones at Trader Joe's, and even though they do have a really nice ginger flavor, it's not overpowering. Sometimes ginger can be too sharp and my kids don't really like it, but these ones are nice and mild. And of course, with that powdered sugar on the outside, they definitely look like snowballs, so I think they go really well with this snowman theme. And speaking of snowman theme, I'm also gonna throw in just a few little snowman decorations. And then for the kids' snack today, I'm gonna be including a yogurt pouch. Now, I know this kind of looks like applesauce, but it's definitely yogurt. And even though Forky is cute, he's not necessarily Christmas themed. So I'm going to do the same thing to this yogurt pouch as I did to the applesauce pouch earlier this week. So it's kind of like a present, but the kids will be able to unwrap it at lunchtime and actually use the napkin if they need it. Then of course, since we're going with a snowman theme, I'm bringing back the little snowman milk bottles that I made yesterday. The kids love these, so it's a perfect time to bring them back. Okay guys, Jackson is up first. What'd you think?
My favorite was the donuts and the bagel.
And Kenzie?
My favorite was the bagel and the crackers.
Yeah, those are fun.
Jackson, the stuff that I want.
You can say whatever you want.
My favorite was the donut and the bagel. My least favorite was the pretzels. Mom, do you know what my favorite was?
What was your favorite?
Bagels. We'll see you in tomorrow's video. Merry Christmas to Mommy. Merry Christmas. And happy holidays. And happy holidays.
Hey guys, and happy Friday! Now, as of right now, Christmas is only like 4 days away, which is crazy. So for today's lunch, I'm actually going to be starting by making the treat first. And I knew I wanted to make gingerbread cookies, but I also knew I didn't have time to make them from scratch. So I think these already made ones will be perfect. Now, I've seen this gingerbread cookie dough at most grocery stores, so it's pretty easy to find. So to bake these, I'm just going to add a little bit of parchment paper to my pan, and then I'm going to try to evenly spread these out. And check it out, you guys, in this package, not only do you get gingerbread men, but you also get gingerbread women, which I love. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop these into the oven for about 10 minutes. And I'm definitely going to keep my eye on these because burnt gingerbread is no good. Now while those are in the oven, I'm going to move on to the sandwiches. And you guys, I had this really cute themed cookie cutter that I was going to use for this sandwich. But unfortunately, the cutter is a little bit too big for my bread, which is such a bummer. So here's plan B. Instead of using my Rudolph cutter, I'm going to use these little gingerbread cutters instead. I found these at Walmart. They were super inexpensive. And most importantly, they're not too big for my bread. So for these sandwiches, I'm actually going to start by cutting out the bread first. I have a little gingerbread house shape and a gingerbread man as well. And don't worry, you guys, if you know me, I always save my crust. It does not go to waste. I like to put it in a Ziploc bag, stick it in the freezer, and then I'll actually use these in recipes at a later time. So now for these sandwiches, I'm going to start by spreading out some peanut butter. Of course, you also could use cookie butter, which tastes a lot like gingerbread, which would be perfect for this. But since I don't actually have any of that right now, I'm just going to use peanut butter. And then for the jam, instead of just using strawberry like I normally would, I thought I would switch it up and use the mango flavored jam instead. And that's a big tip, you guys. If you or your kids are getting tired of the same old PB&J, just change out the J part, use a different flavor, and suddenly it'll be more exciting. Okay guys, now as you can see, I've made 2 sandwiches per child, and I think they look super cute as is. But I thought it would be really fun to go ahead and add some detail to these using my food writer pens. Now I always find these near the cake decorating section, and it's basically food coloring that you can use like a marker. But I do have to say, especially when drawing on bread, it can be a little bit challenging since the bread has lots of nooks and crannies. For the kids' fruit, I'm going to go ahead and add in some kiwi. That bright green color is perfect for Christmas. And speaking of green, I'm also going to add in some cucumber slices. I went ahead and made these into star shapes. And then for the snack, I'm also going to be adding in some goldfish crackers, but these ones are a little bit different. Earlier this week, I used the holiday colored goldfish crackers, but today I'm using the holiday shapes. So in here, there are stocking shaped, Christmas tree shaped, and of course the traditional fish shape as well. And you guys, I found both of these packages of Christmas goldfish crackers at Target. Okay guys, so now our gingerbread cookies are out of the oven and they've had enough time to completely cool down. And if I had time, I would love to decorate the outside of these cookies, but for today, I'm just going to go ahead and stick them in these separate containers, and I'm going to send them to school just as they are. So that's 1 lunch down and 2 to go. Now you guys, let me know in the comments down below, out of all of the Christmas lunches I showed you this week, which one is your favorite? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.